Hi guys, this is Drifted speaking for what is a sort of Gamersyde live without the live part. Today I won't be playing the game for you, I will just comment on the gameplay footage I captured. And well, about a month after the preview, I am going to tell you about SOMA. And SOMA, this is what you're going to see now, is the new game by Frictional Games. And well, as you know, Frictional Games, they're known for Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and that was a scary game to play. And well, in SOMA you're in this very, very dangerous place, and the main character, Simon Jarrett, doesn't remember or doesn't know what happened to him. He doesn't understand where he is. The last recollection he has doesn't just match the situation now. He's in this underwater facility where there are robots, some of them, you know, trying to track him down and kill him, and others just being there and, well, trying to communicate with him in a very disturbing way because they sound very much human-like. And, well, basically, as an adventure game, you'll be interacting with objects like this computer to open up new areas, to unlock doors, or to simply put the power back on, as I was doing there. So the lever here, I'm using the right trigger with the gamepad, holding it, and using the right analog stick to, well, basically do what you would do with your hand or, you know, arm if you were to interact with the lever in real life. Actually, it feels pretty natural. So it's a game where you'll be isolated and you feel lonely in a way, but as you can see, there are also other characters you'll communicate with. But that doesn't happen all the time. There are areas where communications are impossible, like when you are underwater like this and you have to find your way to the next part of the station. And this is actually quite interesting because, you know, the relief you can feel when you know, can actually talk to that Catherine woman again is also quite short-lived, in that when you can communicate, usually threats are even more present. Which doesn't mean that when you're underwater there are no threats. Robots are actually patrolling the area, and, you know, well, as I actually learned the hard way, they can be dangerous too. So the first part of the game is really more about building up the tension. So it's, you know, it's not so much about fear as it is about tension and the permanent pressure that you feel around you because of the water, of course, but because also of, you know, that strange and frightening place. And all the logs, the documents you find or you can listen to, they give you bits of the story that makes it more and more frightening as you go through the game. And it doesn't make much sense at the beginning, of course, but you'll you know, bring the pieces together, and in the end you'll understand pretty soon. Actually, part of the story you understand, but still it's really interesting to follow until the end, which took me about 12 hours, I would say, to complete the game, knowing that I had played the beginning before, so I knew what to do and where to go. So it might actually take you more than 12 hours to complete. So when you're not trying to escape monsters, you'll see, well, very unsettling things like this one. And you'll have to make decisions. Sometimes you won't have a choice, and the decision is you have to do it if you want to move on to the next area. But they will all make you feel uneasy, and that's at least how I felt when playing the game. And you also get these, you know, some kind of distorted vision when you're hurt, which you, of course, you can get some treatment for. Like, for example, here I got too close to the robot. Wasn't sure it would attack me, but it did. And here my vision is distorted, is blurred, and it's going to be worse with some interference here because I'm getting close to another monster. which is also a way to warn you that you should be wary and you should be careful. Thankfully, you can get your health back using these strange little creatures, but again, it doesn't make you feel very relieved when you do so, because it's so strange, and you're never really sure if there are going to be consequences to using them. And I'm not going to tell you, maybe there will be, maybe there will not. Just play and you'll see. But there's, the fact that you don't know if, things can affect the story or the ending. It's interesting, and well, all these sequences when you're underwater with the sound, that actually is a lot of the atmosphere is conveyed through the sound. It's really great. But when you're underwater, there's these sequences where you simply find your way around the place. The underwater, it can feel a bit more open, but it's not really. It's pretty linear, but still you can explore. And sometimes you get spooky things like here, where suddenly something just appears out of nowhere and disappears. And just look at this and listen. It's, again, might not work for you, but for me it was really immersive. And the fauna, well, not as dangerous as the local fauna in SOMA, of course, but it's the balance between exploration and stealth and the threats and puzzles. Well, I don't like to call them puzzles, because really they're just realistic problems that you have to solve because you need to go to the next area. And well, basically here, so I'm trying to open the door. It's not working, so I'm climbing up the stairs, and there's a sense of danger and loneliness, as I was saying before, that makes the game really appealing. And I was never too scared to continue, but maybe I'm just very courageous, I don't know. But that was really there's no jump scares really, like you get chills down your spine when you encounter an enemy that you hadn't actually noticed before, when you hear strange sounds in the environment, well, warning you that maybe something's gonna happen or maybe not. And that's the beauty of it. You never really know. And so stealth sequences like this one, for example, I felt in the preview could be a bit unfair, as I didn't really find a way to go past this guy. But in fact, you can, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's there. In the beginning, it's easier because they tend to patrol. They have one sort of patrol mechanic going on, and you know where they're going to go next. But in the later levels, you encounter new enemies, and these enemies, they are sneaky as hell. Or I'm not sure if they're cheating or not, the developers, if they're making the creature stay close to us no matter what, or if it's just a random pattern they're using. But it's very effective. And so here you can see that I'm leaning, and this you can do using the R1 button in combination with the right analog stick, if I'm not mistaken. And sometimes there will be a bit more scripted events like this one where you have to run away. It doesn't happen very much in SOMA. It's not about the scripts and what you usually find in first-person shooters or other types of games these days. But actually adds to the pressure. Listen to the sound. Even though I know where I'm going now because that's where I was coming from, actually adds a lot of the tension. And then you get that, well, somehow peaceful moment again, where you'll have to find a way to, well, simply to the next place, or find a way to get to the next place, which are two different things. You either just follow the path or find the path, because sometimes it looks a bit more open. And then you can visit different places and just, you know, fumble through closets or just read documents or things written on the wall like this. And like I said, it will start to make sense as you go through the game. And the voice cast is doing a pretty good job, to me at least. Sometimes maybe they sound a bit off, but most of the time it's just what it should be, and it makes you yeah, it makes you live the moment with them, and that actually I think is really necessary for the game to work as a whole. So basically I think I've said, well, most of the things I wanted to tell you. SOMA is really a game I loved from beginning to end. The stealth sequences are a lot more, you know, a lot scarier than the rest of the game. But even where there are no threats, you get that feeling that something's not right. You wonder what you would do in such circumstances. You actually look for answers in a way, trying to also put yourself in the main character's shoes, and that, you know, will, well, I think it should give you some pretty memorable moments in playing the game. And even though the you know, it's not a gory game at all, it's science fiction, as it was in the first Alien movie, for example, so you don't get to see many creatures. There are, well, a few of them, but never by the dozens or anything. And you know, the different creatures are not that many actually. But you sometimes they don't show them to you. You see them, you know, in the shadows, and you hear them. And sure, you can see them from up close if you want, but you know, that's not what I was trying to do. Most of the time, I was just trying to run away. And yeah, exploring the environment, trying to figure out what happened, and to understand where Simon Jarrett fits into all this. Which, again, as you'll learn a few things in the beginning, you'll really wonder, and maybe you'll be you know, smarter than I was, and you know, you'll figure it out more quickly than I did. But even though you do realize a few things as you progress through the game, you'll still want to find out more. You'll still want to know more, to understand more, and some of the choices you'll have to make, again, will leave you for a few minutes wondering, what should I do? I don't know if this will affect the story. I don't know if this will have consequences, but you know, aside from that, just the moral implications, what should I do? And when you're walking down the stairs and suddenly this is what you hear, you know, it's not making it easy to continue. So it's not a gory game. That's about, you know, the kind of gore you'll get to see, but very atmospheric game, a really interesting game to play for me. Even though, again, well, it's not, you know, new in the genre, but it's doing things the way they should be done. And for 30 euros, 30 bucks, really, there's no reason to not to give it a go. And as I was saying before, look at this. Oops, there's someone there. And we chose not to show you much of the, you know, what can happen and the creatures. We didn't want to show you the creatures. And we advise you not to watch the different trailers, actually. If our videos aren't enough, just wait for other reviews, or simply just go and see on Steam if people are happy with it. As for us, we can just strongly recommend this game, and hope that you enjoyed watching this video, listening to me, just well, improvising stuff as usual, but on my own. And well, if you did like it, we might do it more in the future. If we don't worry, this will be the last time. Until then, well, you have a good day, and well, go buy SOMA now. It's time. Bye guys.